Okay, here we go. Drum roll. Hey, hey, let's go. Ready? And 3, 4. Point up. Point up. Point up.
Good evening, graduates. You may be seated. And welcome to the graduation of the Interlake High School class of 2026. I am Gia Agarwal, one of the senior class officers. Seated behind me are my fellow class officers, Kyler Foman, Mingyue Yang, and Mao Jing. We will be your masters of ceremony this evening. It is such an honor for us to be here with all of you tonight, celebrating the accomplishments of 410 graduates. Joining us on stage is our class speaker, Arya Kashyap. Along with faculty speaker, Emma Cook. Principal Brett Cochran, Assistant Principals Amrinder Bains and Tracy Sullivan, and Principal Intern Matt Lockett. We would also like to extend a special welcome to Board Member Tracy Macklin and Superintendent Dr. Kelly Aramaki. Who are joining us on stage this evening. Thank you everyone here tonight, parents, family, friends, and staff, for being here to share this incredible milestone with us.
To begin our graduation ceremony, Interlake's award-winning jazz choir, directed by Dr. Michael King, will be performing the Star Spangled Banner. Afterwards, the jazz choir will continue their performance with the song For Good by Stephen Schwartz. Now, Interlake Class of 2026 and family, for your last time as high school students, please stand for the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return.
Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you.
Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. In whatever way your stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blamed me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore.
Like a comet, like a ship, from its passes a sigh wind off the sea. That meets like a sea drop halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better?
I do believe I have been changed for the better. And because I knew you,
Because I knew you.
because I knew you, I have been changed for
Thank you to our wonderful jazz choir for their beautiful performance. Many of you know our next speaker as an exceptional English and academic seminar teacher, or even previous class advisor. I've had the the immense privilege of volunteering as our faculty speaker's teaching assistant this year. She is someone who is fully committed to supporting students and making Interlake a better place. Please welcome our faculty speaker, Emma Cook, to the stage.
Congratulations, class of 2026, and thank you for this honor of being your staff speaker. This moment is the greatest honor of my career, and also the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life. Like many people, I'm not a fan of public speaking, but here I am standing in front of all of these people because you asked me to, and I wanted to show you that we can all do hard things. When I started thinking about what to say to you during this pivotal moment in your lives, I realized there are a lot of life lessons that can be drawn from this one event of you asking me to speak at your graduation. A bit of backstory: if you had me for IB Lang Lit 2, you might remember, and for everyone else, the title of my last unit is Life Lessons. As an English teacher, I'm a big fan of alliteration, LL, and I'm also a big fan of extracting meaning from things. Not just books, movies, and non-literary text types, but I also love thinking about the deeper meaning of moments in my life, big or small, important or mundane. So the first life lesson that can be extracted from this moment in time is what I alluded to before. You can do hard things. If I'm standing on this stage giving this speech, you can literally do anything. I dislike standing in front of people so much, I didn't want to have a wedding. I wanted to marry my husband, just not in front of people. I got the pastor guy to whittle the ceremony down to about 5 minutes to get me through it because it was important for me to have a wedding, just like it was important for me to say yes to giving this speech. So, do things that scare you. I don't mean dangerous things. I have a 13-year-old, so I'm always on safety patrol, but do things that make you uncomfortable. Challenge yourself. If you're shy, force yourself to network. If you're a procrastinator, make yourself follow a checklist. If you're bad at something, like public speaking, just keep learning and practicing. If you don't do things that challenge you or scare you, you might not grow into your full potential. Now, for life lesson number 2. In the 19 years I've been at Interlake, I'm only the 3rd female teacher to be asked to speak. Interlake's teaching staff is 52% women, and I'm no math teacher, but that math is not mathing. Pointing this out is not meant to diminish the credentials or deservedness of my male colleagues, but to simply bring awareness. The second life lesson from this moment is that as you go out into the world, take note of whose voice is being heard. Are you getting multiple and diverse perspectives? If yours is a voice that is often heard, can you invite others to the table? If yours is a voice that is not often heard, can you bring yourself to that table, even if it's uncomfortable? There's value in being exposed to multiple perspectives. It can drive innovation, foster empathy, and individual growth. That's why we make you do so much group work. It's not just because we know you love it so much. Moving to life lesson number 3. Maybe you didn't actually vote for me and you wanted a different speaker, which is fine, and leads to the third life lesson that we don't always get what we want. There's a lot in life we have no control over. We live this every day with the economy, the environment, world leaders, pandemics, wars, but what you can control is your response. And know the difference between what you can and can't control. And try not to sink into the despair that is the algorithm of my Apple News feed. And finally, life lesson number 4. Small acts can create important life-changing moments. By this seemingly small act of asking me to be your speaker, you have created a life-changing moment for me. Now, I will always remember the class of 2026. I will remember all the times we laughed together, or all your hard work in my English classes, or when we persevered together in academic seminar, or that you interned with me, or that you annoyed me to give you a shout out. You know who you are. This is your shout out. Or maybe we never met, because this is a big school, but now we will forever be tied together in this moment. So the 4th life lesson is to remember that your small acts can be life-changing for other people, and that the reverse is also true. A seemingly small negative act on your part can have a tremendous impact on someone's well-being. In a world where trolling is the norm, try to lead with kindness. And being the deeper meaning, loving English teacher that I am, I could find more life lessons, but like I said, I'm really uncomfortable up here, so we're gonna call it good with 4. So remember, you can do hard things. Open yourself to multiple perspectives. You can control your response to what you can't control, and your small acts are impactful. Thank you again for this honor. I wish you the best of luck out there, and I hope your life is filled with many more beautiful life lessons. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you, Ms. Cook, for that wonderful speech. For 4 years, our amazing orchestra has performed beautiful music time and time again for so many audiences. Now, for the last time as high school students, please welcome Anthony Batchelder, Kevin Dang, Nicholas Grote, Andrew Horn, Stella Liu, Mohan Nayak, Ruth Sun, and Mao Xing as they perform Oblivion by Astor Piazzolla.
A massive thank you to our talented orchestra students. Next, I'm honored to introduce our class speaker tonight. While many of us were introduced to him through his class office speech wherein he drank a bottle of ketchup, you may know him now as an ASB co-president. Probably the biggest overachiever I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, and one of Interlake's most inspirational student leaders. Please give it up for Arya Kashyap.
Thank you, Kyler, and good evening, everyone. Graduates, parents, guests, esteemed faculty and administration, thank you so much for being here today, and congratulations to the Interlake class of 2026. To my peers, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. To be honest, I'm still not entirely sure why you guys picked me out of all people. However, I guess I've learned not to question your judgment after considering that you elected me to student government for 4 consecutive years simply because I chugged an assortment of condiments. Before I begin, I should let you know that this speech contains an abundance of quotes. I figured it was only fitting that, on a day celebrating our education, I draw inspiration from some of the world's most brilliant thinkers. So with that in mind, I'll start with a quote from the inspirational philosopher Judy Hopps, star of the movie Zootopia, who said, "Try to make the world a better place. Try everything." I would love to sing what is arguably the best song of 2016, but I digress. Now, I realize it may seem strange to base my speech on advice from a rabbit from a children's movie that I watched when I was 8 years old, but that is my theme today. Try everything. Not necessarily succeed, not win, not have everything figured out, just try. Graduating from Interlake means that we will be left on our own to navigate what comes next. There will be no more built-in structure to our days, no more hallway music helping us get to class on time, and unfortunately, no more classes with the world's greatest substitute teacher, Mr. Turman. Don't worry though, it's not all bad. It also means no more watching Mr. Ralphs absolutely dominate us in basketball every single year. For my fellow drivers and some of our parents, it means no more long waits when entering or exiting the student parking lot. But for many of us, graduating means no more Bellevue. Graduation means growing up and taking everything Interlake has given us and using it to leave our mark on the world. Yet finding the derivative of a polynomial, identifying the powerhouse of the cell, or recalling the causes of the War of 1812 is not what will enable us to truly change the world. Some guy named Albert Einstein once said, "Education is not the learning of the facts, but the training of the mind to think." And after 4 years at Interlake, we have learned how to think. Whether you challenged yourself with the IB diploma, running START classes, AP tests, Mr. Van Deventer's AAHL2 class, or any of the other obstacles life sent your way, we've learned how to think critically, how to solve problems, and how to collaborate with people who view the world differently than we do. And that is the true value of an Interlake education. More than anything, I urge you to take risks and to be bold. I'll share one final quote with you all, and it goes like this: "The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks." So, my friends, dream big, dare big. Throughout history, so many of our greatest achievements have come from people willing to risk failure. Just to name a few examples, the Wright brothers, who dared to believe that human flight was possible, the space race, when nations dared to send people to the moon, the Taco Bell quesarito, where a genius dared to wrap a burrito inside of a quesadilla. My point is, success has always been about daring and taking risks. So, take what you have learned and experienced during your time at Interlake, build on it as you step into the years ahead, and think about how you will take risks. Because seriously, if you don't take risks, you will miss out on what you're truly capable of becoming. So, Class of 2026, as we go our separate ways, I hope we hold on to the friendships and cherish the memories that made these last 4 years so special. Although so many of us are leaving Bellevue, Interlake will always be something that connects us. And of course, as we take our next steps, remember to stay in touch, remember to dare, remember to make the world a better place, and definitely remember to try everything. Thank you so much.
A truly memorable speech by Arya that I will try to follow. Graduation may be a sorrowful time filled with many goodbyes, but it is also a time to be thankful for all of the experiences we've made together. As we reminisce on everything we've been through, please welcome Annie Hong, Giselle Kendrick, Chloe Keong, Alan Shen, and Carson Xiao for our next musical selection, Memories by Maroon 5.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through.
Close to the ones here today.
Close to the ones here today.
Close to the ones that we
Close to the ones, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you.
There's a time that I remember when I did not know me, when I believed in forever and everything would stay the same.
Now my heart feel like December when somebody say your name. 'Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. Hey, everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Hey, but everything'll be alright. Go and raise your voice and say, hey, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through.
Close to the ones here today.
Close to the ones here today.
Close to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the dreams bring back all the memories.
And the memories bring back you.
There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost, when I felt that all the hatred was too powerful to stop.
Now my heart feel like an ember, and it's lighting up the dark. I'll carry these torches for you. I don't know I'll never drop. Yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Hey, hey, but everything'll be alright. Go and raise your voice and say, hey, here's to the ones that we got. To the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through.
Close to the ones here today.
Close to the ones here today.
Close to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the dreams bring back all the memories.
And the memories bring back you. Memories bring back you.
Bring back you, they bring back you. All the memories do, all the memories do, all the memories.
Memories bring back you.
A moment ago, we heard it from our amazing performers. And now, I'd like to introduce someone who has shaped the rhythm of our school in a very different way. He's so much more than just our principal. He's a mentor, a friend, and most importantly, a character I made in The Sims 4. Please welcome to the stage our beloved principal, Mr. Cochran.
I came to David Kim with that 2 weeks ago, and I said, hey, let's do something different, let's do something fun. That's something about David Kim is he has a can-do attitude, and he's like, sure, we got this. 2 weeks is enough time, but sure. And that's what I'll remember by David. His time shouldn't be measured in years. It should be the early mornings, the late nights, the rehearsals. I wouldn't lie if saying it gave me comfort getting pummeled on a Friday night football game, just rain, rain, rain. And I look over and David's just also getting hammered by the rain as he's conducting band. And so I say all that to say 27 years at Interlake High School, 35 years altogether. This man's retiring. Can we give it up for David Kim? All right, not too much. I only got 5 minutes. 28 years, we could have clapped longer, but not 27. All right, here we go. 9:47 a.m. text. Dad, I need you to do me a favor. It's really important. Honey, I'm at work and I'm in a meeting. I'm not sure I can deliver on what you need. What is it? On Saturday, one of my favorite stores, Garage, is opening at Bellevue Square, and the first 150 people in line get a gift card. Mom and I will be in Portland for my volleyball tournament. Can you go stand in line? Peyton and I have plans on Saturday. She responds, you and I both know that's not true. Doesn't matter, not doing it. Some of my students will be there, and no teenager has ever said, you know what would make this Saturday better? Running into my principal. Also, I looked at the website, and I'm not a fan of their clothes. I asked her, do they sell baggy black sweatpants? She says yes, and I said, I'm still not going. This is where the conversation ends, but I did have plans. See, when you get old, it's important to know the great peace and serenity you will find on a Saturday morning by drinking coffee and staring out the window. However, I understood the assignment and mustered the courage, and without telling her, I set forth for Bellevue Square. The store opened at 10 a.m., so I figured if I showed up at 8 a.m., I would surely beat all the high school students. School starts at 8 a.m., and that is clearly a problem for many of you. So I set my alarm clock for 7 a.m. with great faith. I walked in and rounded the corner with the confidence of a man who had widely underestimated the enemy. However, I promptly got in line about 80 deep and was the only middle-aged father standing alone, unconcealed with pride. Actually, I'm totally lying. I don't know if we can pull that off, but thank you, AV team. I sent this picture to my wife, sister, and my mom. And with the caption of, this was a mistake. I looked absurd. I looked like somebody who owes someone a lot of money. I was standing behind a mother-daughter duo from Redmond. Due to my questionable appearance, the young girl turned around and said I looked familiar and asked if we knew each other. And I was thinking, girl, please lower your voice. As it drew closer to 10, the unimaginable happened. Approaching me was a sea of Uggs, ice matchas, Stanley cups, and a variety of trendy sweatshirts and sweatpants. So much aura. I realized the first 80 girls in line were just holding their spot for their friends, and my 80th position quickly became north of 150. I wasn't mad. It reminded me I'm old, and we used to do that when standing in line for concert tickets for movie passes. However, once they opened, they only let the first 30 in, and then they did a one-in, one-out approach. The line was snail pace, and I had a hard stop at 11 to take my son to his game. Around that time, I admitted defeat and ducked under the rope to head out. I quickly removed my hat, sunglasses, and hoodie, as now, if discovered, I could say I came to the mall for boba, which we all know I will travel great distances for. I have about 5 minutes to speak to you, and I personally came up here to tell you a story
Of course, I was tempted to tell you about some of my adventures studying abroad in college, some of my shenanigans in college, some memorable vacations, some mistakes I've made, or just some crazy principal stories. But I checked in and I asked, why am I desiring to tell a story? I chose this random Saturday story because it was exactly that, a random Saturday, and something was born out of nothing. What was meant to be a quiet Saturday morning drinking coffee and watching bunnies chase each other out my window turned into a memory that I'll never forget. While I can't even share the memory with my daughter, it's one that both her and I will remember. You better believe I'll be cashing it in at some point and say, remember that time I stood in line and risked my whole reputation? That's the thing about great stories and great memories. You never know when they're going to happen. We're currently living in an era where there is a quiet war being fought over our attention. How many of us have been robbed by some of these memories because we succumbed to this war and opted for comfort? We call it doom scrolling, knowing we don't like it, yet most of us have fallen victim to it. There are even critics out there who are theorizing that some people in your generation could die with having more memories of other people's lives than your own. And I'm here to fight for it and say that I see hope in who I'm staring at. Many of you leaned into the phone-free school that we were trying to create. My hope is that you carry those habits with you when you leave. It's sort of a tired analogy to say that there are two types of people in the world, but it's true. Instead of introvert and extrovert, I'd like to argue that there are plan makers and then there are plan doers. The plan makers know the plan doers won't do the planning. The plan doer's job is to say yes when the plan makers call you. I found that people with the best stories aren't necessarily the smartest, richest, or most talented. They're usually just the ordinary people in ordinary situations who found themselves in serendipitous situations. Oh no, I'm missing a page. Oh, this happened one year at Sammamish, and I laughed at that principal. It's coming to bite me. Years from now, he never found his. I found my last page. Years from now, when you're sitting around a table with people you love, I hope you're not telling stories about things you watched. I hope you're laughing and telling stories about things that you lived. Your last principal's orders are to collect as many memories that start with, remember that time we. And as you already know, your principal doesn't take any L's. I went back to Garage on Sunday and bought baggy black sweatpants. Thank you.
What inspiration from Mr. Cochran. That would definitely be difficult to top. But with that in mind, it's time for the acceptance of the class. Please welcome to the stage our superintendent, Dr. Kelly Aramaki, and school board member, Tracy Mocklin.
I have to say, just before the ceremony started, my kiddo, who's graduating tonight with the Interlake class of 26, her friends said that they made a bet that I would cry during my speech, and so you're not going to see a single tear fall from these eyes tonight. With that, Interlake graduates, today we celebrate the successful completion of this important chapter in your lives. You have achieved every critical milestone in your K-12 journey, from learning to write your name in kindergarten, learning to keep your hands and feet to yourself, to taking your final Smarter Balanced Assessment, SAT test, AP test, IB test, and then I think most challenging of all, taking the stickers off of your laptops before turning them in on the last day. The diploma that you are about to receive reflects all of these milestones and accomplishments, and of course, so much more. Your diploma also represents the support of many people who care about you so much. To the families, caregivers, and loved ones here today, including my wife and my parents and family who are in the audience celebrating my amazing kid who's graduating tonight. Families, we did it. Shout out to all of us for being imperfectly amazing, for all of the encouragement, sacrifices, the sleepless nights worrying about our kids, the celebrating of successes, and the unwavering belief that we have in these amazing human beings. To the extraordinary staff of the Bellevue School District, the teachers, administrators, all of those who have walked alongside our kids each day for the past 13 years, job well done. Let's give them a big round of applause. You all truly are saints. As a parent of a graduate and as the superintendent of the school district, I have a pretty good idea of what you've had to do to make sure that these kids walk across the stage tonight. I know about the endless conversations about grades, turning in assignments, not skipping fire drills, writing letters of recommendation, checking in on our kids' mental health and well-being, having tough conversations when necessary, joking around, and sharing human connection with them. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your care, commitment, and unwavering belief in these amazing human beings. Graduates, on behalf of the Bellevue School District and the beloved community that loves you and believes in your unlimited individual and collective potential, congratulations on achieving this milestone. This week and in the next few months, before many of you head off to college or new adventures, if your parent or grandparent or guardian or your dad holds on to you just a little bit longer, or maybe a lot longer, please let us do that. Oh, darn it. Nope. Nope. When we look at you, we don't just see the teenager who is about ready to become an adult going out into the world. When we look at you, we see you taking your first steps. We see you uttering your first words. We remember with such clarity you going into your first kindergarten classroom. We remember the first time you rode your bicycle. We remember your first crush, your first heartbreak, your every achievement, every struggle you've had, all of it. It comes flooding in at super random times. So don't worry about us when you see us crying when we're driving, or when we're watching Frozen, or when we're holding you just a little bit too long. Be compassionate towards us and just let us hug you, because we love you so much and we totally deserve it after all the years. So just saying. And with that, Director Macklin, I am proud and honestly totally relieved to present the Interlake High School graduating class of 2026 for your acceptance.
Thank you, Dr. Aramaki. On behalf of the Bellevue School District Board of Directors, it is my honor to accept the Interlake High School graduating class of 2026. Having been certified by the principal, these students have successfully completed all requirements established by the Bellevue School District and the state of Washington. Graduates, we celebrate your hard work, perseverance, growth, and accomplishments. You have contributed to your schools, your community, and one another in meaningful ways. As you leave us to pursue your future aspirations, we encourage you to continue learning, leading, and making a positive difference as creators of our future world. And with that, it is with tremendous pride that the Bellevue School District Board of Directors accepts the Interlake High School Class of 2026. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Aramaki and Board Member Mocklin. The next group of people I'd like to introduce are the behind-the-scene magicians. For 4 years, they've managed our schedules and kept the school running. They are what makes it all possible. Here to lead the class roll call are our Interlake counselors, Elizabeth Galvan, Claudia Goodhue, Alyssa Flaherty, Scott Markham, and Maya Vergeen. And additionally, for the presentation of diplomas, our principal and assistant principals, Brett Cochran, Arminder Baines, Tracy Sullivan, and Matt Lockett.
Okay. As the counselors get ready, students in the first two rows from the outside in, would you please kind of line up along the side, please? First 2 rows only, outside in. Just like we rehearsed. Very, very good, very good.
I'm moving this over so that they can be here. I don't care. Anthony Batchelder. Stella Liu. Kevin Dang. Mohan Nayak. Nicholas Grote. Alan Shen. Annie Hong. Ruth Sun. Andrew Horn. Carson Xiao. Giselle Kendrick. William Shu. Chloe Kyong. Christopher Yu. Eliza Abedin. Philip Liu. Yadiera Vico. Esther McNeil. Piyush Acharya. Liliana Lomas. Devesh Agarwal. Andy Lopez. Aishwarya Agrawal. Damaris Lopez Ramirez. Aryan Agrawal. Chloe Wynn. Lakshmi Agrawal. Madeline Louie. Adam Ahmed. August Liu. Shahir Ahmed. Santiago Luna Garcia. Naila Ali. Lily Wynn. Arya Mbala. Jare Liu. Nikitha Anand. Chase Jackson McMillan. Lawrence Onfong. Mahad Mahamud. Beck Antich. Maui Mahamud. Neek Saramaki. Asia Mahmood. Spurthi Ankam. Emma Mack. Christopher Arellano Palacios. Aviuth Malapaka. Jennifer Arita. Irina Maltseva. Rotem Ashkenazi. Samarth Mandayam. Jared Ayala. Bang Meng.
Johan Asen,
Zimin Mao.
Prisha Vajpai,
Mika Mawaz.
Laya Balayogan,
Skylar McLean.
Neve Balu,
Inara Medvedeva.
Shahar Bartal,
Angie Mercado.
Naomi Baraz,
Charlie Marekis.
Samantha Barker,
Finn Marekis.
Tommy Barrows,
Daniel Meyerson.
Anupama Basu,
Roman Mihailov.
Sujith Bivara,
Rena Miller.
Zain Bati,
Micah Mondin.
Akam Bala,
Aiden Monjazib.
Arnav Bhatt,
Isaac Moreno.
Ahana Bhatt,
Meklit Mulugeta.
Dia Buta,
Giovanni Munoz.
Stella Bieh,
Cedric Munson.
Rithika Banu,
Baku Namshir.
Abidi Brahmat,
Taha Nasimi.
Jonathan Blanco Lopez,
Emmanuel Nava.
Shloka Woma,
Dhruvi Niradu.
Nathaniel Boyd,
Meklit Nega.
Simon Baker,
Ankita Nera.
Samuel Brodsky,
Emily No.
Matthew Bernowski,
Tram Neem.
Bryony Brown, Dean Brown, Ellison Brown,
Songha Na.
Maximus Berger,
Daniel Wynn.
Rafe Burnaby,
Maya Wynn.
Angeline Bustamante Soto,
Riham Nagualiusi.
Cristian Cabrales,
Erica Nee.
Leslie Calderon,
Howard Nugent.
Sergio Kalimlim,
Max Oliveira.
Sarah Callahan,
Lena Marie Orbeck.
Anthony Castaneda,
Jeremiah Opong Blanks.
Elisa Castillo,
Kai Ori.
Michael Chimbergi,
Gustavo Ortiz Espinoza.
Shea Heavy Runner Ty Chabot,
Ellis Arsland.
Denise Chang,
Amara Poliwal.
Anna Charles,
Nicholas Panagasi.
Justin Chen,
Alicia Park.
Blythe Chen,
Ahid Patan.
Mia Chen,
Rahul Pisa.
Dana Chen,
Douglas Pineda Mayan.
Ethan Chen,
Anmol Pujani.
Jake Chen,
Arif Prakash,
Anushka Chaube,
Jadalyn Prangan,
Allison Chin,
Stephen Xander Prangan,
Lucas Cogshaw,
Yuti Purohit,
Brady Didrikson,
Luis Adrian Quintana,
Kincaid Cosper,
Eliana Reisman,
Gracie Cohen,
Daya Rajkumar,
Vlad Constantine,
Adarshini Rashtaluk,
Liliana Counts,
Danyashri Ramanathan,
Cameron Croney,
Sanjana Ramesh Bahu,
Sandy Cruz,
Vedant Rao,
Prithvi Dasan,
Kimberly Raya Chavez,
Alexander Dosha,
Ishmael Reed,
Louis de Groot,
Kavya Rangan,
Shrimayu Devnath,
Luna Rincon Ruiz,
Devin Degate,
Ashley Rivera,
Maruka Dale,
Suhani Saini,
Ananya Deokar,
Gabriela Sandoval,
Aaron Deutsch,
Shayla Sachs,
Batul Dahir,
Till Zaida,
Macy Didrikson,
Kushi Seti,
Cindy Dong,
Sahil Shah,
Kushi Danthi,
Jackson Shankles,
Rohan Duran Mutusami,
Vanya Sharma,
Rian Dutt,
Alyssa Shaw,
Salim Eke,
Tiffany Shaw,
Gustavo Espesi,
Angel Shen,
Yedelin Esquivel Martinez,
Palash Sahai,
Samuel Fang,
Samay Sheth,
Patrick Fang,
Sabyasashi Sengupta,
Alexander Ferlay,
Mehika Shetty,
Clark Fuyag,
Koki Shibata,
Caroline Fuentes,
Vihan Shringi,
Angelique Frey,
Stan Shu,
Ayaka Fukazawa,
Sanjana Sikka,
Ruhi Gate,
Elizabeth Darlene Sinason,
Bernard Garcia,
Anvika Kaur Singh,
Jesus Garcia Medrano,
Deepinder Singh,
Wazi Karutsang,
Janakpreet Singh,
Keza Gatoni,
Leela Singh,
Theo Goggle,
Sirajuddin Shakil Mohammed Shirazuddin,
Melania Genkin,
Zoe Smith,
Aiden George,
Oscar Felix Solis,
Kaustav Ghosh,
Christian Solomon,
Ruby Gleason.
Jerry Song.
Ashika Gogani.
Christian Spiker.
Ishanvi Golapudi.
Siddhant Srivastava.
Julio Gomez.
Harper Stevens.
Carol Gong.
Adam Sun.
Xi Gong.
Robbie Tribolette.
Jesus Grandes.
Davi Santos.
Jonathan Groisman.
Alexander Sauerbrey.
Anusha Guha.
Alexander Sutton.
Saksham Gupta.
Arush Reddy.
Tavishi Gupta.
Liam Tacey.
Yana Gupta.
Amani Taneja.
Violet Ha.
Leo Tang.
Miora Hammond.
Siddharth Tongatur.
Peter Hansen.
Emma Temple.
Reese Hansen.
Aditi Thakur.
Nithya Hari.
Harry Thomas.
Sucheta Harsha.
Lizzie Thompson.
Sam Hoffey.
Pierce Thorne.
Julian Hayes.
Lisandro Torres Castillo.
Dante Henton.
Darren Tortop.
Pierce Holberry.
Sam Tran.
Andre Hoyalchi.
Rohan Turimala.
Alice Hernandez.
Zainab Uslu.
Elijah Hill.
Ivan Ustimenko.
Adishi Hinge.
Gloria Uwase.
Kai Honda.
Anjana Vaidiraman.
Amy Huang.
Risha Vikil.
Gabriel Hubchen.
Zion Velasquez.
Justin Hudasso.
Mintam Vigneron.
Kate Hummer.
Nishan Vikramidiatya.
Marwan Ibrahim.
Zali VR.
Ramina Idigayeva.
Michelle Vo.
Saka Iman.
Ditya Vupala.
Inika Iyer.
Saharsh Vupala.
Vikramaditya Jagannathan.
Eric Wallin.
Vedika Jagtop.
Evan Wong.
Kritika Jaikumar.
Jerry Wong.
Kushi Jain.
William Wong.
Darius Jamshidiat.
Edward Way.
Calvin Jolly.
Grace Wellington.
Faustine Joseph.
Grace Wells.
Aliyah Jamal.
Faith Wetikia.
Jessica Jin.
Marcus Aurelius White.
Oliver Jimenez Rodriguez.
Diego Wills.
Ivana John.
Kaizea Wood.
Dia Jindal.
Andrew Wright.
Dyuti Joshi.
Ellie Shui.
Nakul Cade.
Minya Yan.
Mohammed Kaleem.
Thomas Yan.
Akanksha Kampali.
Lasia Larsagata.
Thomas John Kaplan.
Elizabeth Ye.
Elias Kadir.
Tim Yin.
Akila Kayanda.
Caden Yu.
Viveka Kana.
Sayang Trinity Yoon.
Hannes Kinsley.
Pasha Zakhanov.
Arman Kocherov.
Aryan Zarakar.
Aiden Klink.
Brett Honming Zong.
Arnav Koganti.
Claire Zhao.
Jocelyn Ko.
Hanley Zhao.
Sri Kokanda.
Jeffrey Zhao.
Samuel Kong.
Roy Zhao.
Devaj Krishna Kumar.
Emmanuel Zhou.
Anastasia Kryatova.
Shulin Zhu.
Layla Kirkich.
Corley Zhuang.
Gargi Kumar.
Minyu Yang.
Polak Kumar.
Kyler Fullman.
Adina Kushner.
Miles Shing.
Daniela Leo.
Gia Agarwal.
Hai Yu Lai.
Arya Kashyap.
Matthew Lang. Luca Lauren Hallett. Lena Lay. Emily Lee. Yuning Lee. Danger Lee. Aaron Lee. And Gavin Lewis.
Bring us home, guys. Bring us home.
As we come to a close, we would like to reflect on how far we have come and how much we have grown. In some cases, literally. The first time many of you met your peers was in middle school. With this journey came the struggles of Algebra 1, the emotional ups and downs of 7 periods a day, and for the first time, choosing our own electives. At the ripe age of 12, we discovered we had free will. My apologies to our parents, older siblings, and teachers. And of course, we went through the pandemic. Standing up here today, it's surreal to know that we were the pandemic 6th graders, breathing through masks too big for us and playing cool math games during our online classes. In all seriousness, we have come a long way, building community, a sense of selfhood, and a future in a world that once felt like it was falling apart.
Freshman year, many of us started from scratch. But you know what they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Over time, we learned from upperclassmen where to find the best food spots at Crossroads, to avoid that one bathroom by the main gym, and even Mr. Cochran's favorite flavor of boba. While the future was still uncertain, the new things we learned propelled us into our 2nd year. As sophomores, we took the time to experiment by joining new clubs, shout out yearbook, and the bravest of us got our driver's licenses. Our cortisol collectively spiked junior year during standardized testing. It was then that we learned about triple T: tenacity, thoughtfulness, and trust. We needed tenacity to fight through IB tests, thoughtfulness to encourage our friends through the daunting SATs, and trust in ourselves to always wake up at the first or second or third alarm. Regardless, junior year solidified both our futures and our friendships.
Then came senior year. We decorated our overalls at senior sunrise. We completely demolished our opposition with our homecoming float. We sat through so many assemblies that were definitely not planned the night before. We had an amazing prom. We experienced things for the final time. The final time you listened in class on a regular scheduled day. The final time you waited in line for nachos with beef and beans. The final time you sent a Teams message when you thought the teacher wasn't looking. Look around. Some of these are people you will see for the final time.
Looking back on these 4 years, it all feels so fast, but those swift years have left the impact of a lifetime. We've changed and grown in ways we could have never imagined. We've embraced new experiences we never thought we'd explore, laughed with people we never thought we'd talk to. From accidental table mates to best friends, we met the very people who cherished us, supported us, and loved us. For many of us, our time here was nothing like we thought it would be, yet it shaped us nonetheless. And now, as we prepare to scatter across the world, the daunting future awaits. So embrace the discomfort, explore the new opportunities. Now, graduates of class of 2026, please stand. To mark the end of the beginning, please join us by turning your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, graduates of Interlake's class of 2026.
All right, graduates, you can exit up the stairs. Graduates, go ahead and exit up the stairs and meet your families out on the concourse. Again, graduates, exit up the stairs to meet your families outside on the concourse. Thank you.
Congratulations. Another senior class.
Thank you.
In the books.
Zoe's on her way.
Yeah. Yeah.
On her way.
She's here somewhere.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay. Two more years, right? Oh my God.
I know.
Mine's gonna be a sophomore, but it's just so fast. Kind of what he said in his speech.
I can't believe that your kid goes to your school. Like,
No, she doesn't. No, she goes to Skyline.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. She would not want to.
I know.